Welcome to Business of Being Black with Tammi Mack. I'm Tammi Mack on Foxsoul. In the movie Good Hair, Chris Rock explores how African American women view their hair and the importance it holds in the Black community and everywhere else in the world. People seem to be concerned, super concerned about the hair of Black women. I mean, how many of us have never experienced the "can I touch your hair" thing? But now with the rise of Black women embracing their natural hair, what's considered beautiful and acceptable when it comes to our hair is an ongoing debate. So much so that even in certain states, they're deciding whether we can wear natural hair or not legally in the workplace. Well, the business of being Black today is natural hair versus hair weaves, hair extensions, wigs, straight hair, that old Spike Lee School Days debate, good or bad hair, see if I care. Please welcome content creator Tara Chantel. Hi, Tara.
Hello. Thank you so much for having me today.
Thank you for being here. Lifestyle writer Lanika Belfield Martin is with us. Hi, Lanika.
Hello.
Beauty features writer for the Zoe Report, Natasha Marsh on deck. Hi, Natasha.
Hi, Tammi. Thanks for having me.
Attorney and natural hair advocate, Indija Anderson Yantha. Hi, Indija.
Hi, Miss Tammi. Thanks for having me here.
Thank you for being here. And lifestyle content creator, Amor Antasia. Hi, Amor.
Hi, Tammi. Thanks so much for inviting me.
So, Amor, why should Black people care whether... Well, let's just state it generally. Why should Black people care how Black women wear their hair? This question goes to everyone on the panel. It kicks off the show, Business of Being Black. Why should Black people care how Black women wear their hair? Amor?
Well, honestly, to answer, they actually shouldn't. I feel like they should mind the business that pays them. For some others, some of us may go through chemo. Some of us may have natural alopecia. Some of us may need just protective styles to wear our hair for versatility, for hair growth and protection, or just out of convenience. Like today, we're all here, we're working. Some of us may have other endeavors, may have children. We don't always have time to just make our hair, our natural hair, perfect and polished so that everyone will not think that we're going through or whatever. So sometimes we just wear extensions or weaves or, wigs to just, go out through the day or whatever. I feel like as long as it looks natural and it looks good, it's no one's business. It's just my opinion.
Tara, why should Black people care how Black women wear their hair?
Tammi, Black women are the trendsetters. We do lead the example to this life. So we just hold so much impact. And I feel like as women just embody their divine truth, then that's just going to spread to our peers as well. As long as we are confident within who we are, it should not affect anybody else how we obtain our hairstyle, our lifestyle, and our truth at the end of the day.
Yeah, it does seem to be a big deal, right? Lanika, why should Black people care?
I agree with them more. I don't think that we should care at all. Regardless, people are going to hate. Like if you wear a wig like me, people are going to hate. If you wear your natural hair, people are going to hate. Just do what makes you feel confident and what makes you feel beautiful.
Yeah. Do what makes you feel beautiful. Indija.
I think that Black people should care because hair in general plays such an integral role in human identity. And for us specifically as African descendants, we have a very unique relationship with our hair and how it relates to our identity. So hair is important as it relates to us from the collective in terms of tying us back to our African ancestry and our roots, but also on an individual level, your hair is very unique to you in the fact that it even carries your DNA. And so because we were ripped from our ancestral home, our relationship with our hair was disrupted by enslavement and colonization. And so we no longer have that positive relationship anymore. And in fact, when we were brought over to the New World, one of the first things they did was shave our heads to rip our identities from us and to dehumanize us. So I think it's important for Black women to embrace their natural hair and to understand that sometimes when we resort to wearing weaves or wigs that emulate white hair textures, it says something. There's something deeper going on there. So I think it's important for us to learn to love and to embrace our hair.
Ooh, it's something deeper going on there. Listen, the only thing deep going on with my straight hair is the fact that I can't get into a swimming pool and jump out and it still be straight. Why should Black people care, Natasha?
I think that the beauty of Black hair is that it's so versatile and we can wear it in different styles. And we can wear it straight, we can wear it braided, we can wear it in wigs, we can wear it in weaves. And I agree with what everyone said on the panel so far. I think that Black women do care about their hair, but my hope is that we care based on our own merit, not based on what society and societal conditions have shown us. And I want people to embrace the choice, whatever that choice may be, even if it's different one day to the next week to the next month. And I want people to just appreciate that we have the right to choose how we wear our hair.
Lanika, Indeja says that it's deeper than just a hairstyle if Black women are wearing their hair straight. Do you agree with that?
I don't agree at all. I think when it comes to when we talk about hair textures and how you choose to wear your hair texture, Black women, we're not the only ones on this planet that chooses to wear hair textures other than our natural ones. There's probably not a single white, Hispanic, or Asian woman on this country that doesn't wake up every morning or every other morning to straighten her hair. But it seems like we're the ones that are constantly kind of told to, not have to, but if you don't wear your natural hair texture, it means that you hate yourself. I'd never heard this rhetoric being put on anyone else. There are tons of white women who have curly hair, who never wear their curly hair because, the standard is straight hair. So I don't think I guess in a way it is kind of it's something deeper, but for a lot of us, we kind of just wear it because we want to. It's what's comfortable to us. I know that's what I do.
That is interesting, Indeja. I've got two questions here for you because she makes a valid point. There are white women who have curly hair and Asian women who have thinner hair and they wear weaves and they get their hair. I mean, let's face it, the Brazilian blowout was not created for Black women. Okay. I think Madam C.J. Walker did that creation with the hot comb. That was our Brazilian blowout. Okay. So when you say it's deeper, what do you mean by that? Can you be more specific? How deep is it? And what does that mean?
Well, absolutely. We have to understand that our understanding of beauty and what we deem to be beautiful or what makes us comfortable dates back to these ideals that were based in white supremacist ideologies of what beauty means. And that's based on a straight-haired Eurocentric aesthetic. So when you see curly-haired white women straightening their hair, it's informed by the same sort of ideas that make Black women feel that they can't wear their hair the way it grows out of their heads. So it's based and rooted in anti-Black racism. And that's why I think it's really important for us to understand why we're making the hairstyling choices that we do, and to understand that if we're going to choose a weave or a wig, it's not because we feel that we're ashamed of our hair, but we're choosing it because we're making an informed choice, a choice made from a place of wholeness, essentially.
Tara?
That is so profound because we have this idea that we have to change our hair every week now, a new wig, who this, and we can't just be ourselves with the God-given hair that God has blessed us with. I feel like it's power in just embracing your authentic truth. It's power in just being your wholeness in yourself. And that's a true statement overall. We have to unlearn a lot of these programs that they taught us what is beauty. They think slim is beauty. Now they have these BBLs that is defining us as beautiful, and we're shifting that. But you can shift the narrative towards you when you are just yourself at the end of the day.
Natasha, is there something deeper here that we're dealing with?
I think that if anything, people who choose to wear their hair in wigs or weaves or braids, they're doing it because history has shown us that is the way to kind of climb the ladder. That's what we've seen. We've seen these Eurocentric standards and we've seen people reach success based on that. So I don't think people are trying to look white or they hate their hair or they're not proud of their culture. I think that they've just understood, unfortunately, that it wasn't created for us. And that if we look a certain way, like the majority of our colleagues or whatnot with straight hair, that we will get the same opportunities.
Yeah. Amor?
Okay, so I totally agree with all of the sentiments. I do believe that for a lot of Black women, some of them may have subconscious, deep rooted issues of why they choose the types of hair textures that they wear. But for me, example, this is curly hair. Everyone should know by now that curly hair is pretty much of African descent in most of the time. So my natural hair is actually curly. It's actually about below my breast. So it's pretty long, it's thick, but sometimes I just don't feel like doing the maintenance. This week, I need to do a full routine. That's about 4 hours. And I have business to take care of today. So it's out of convenience. It's not always straight hair that Black women wear as extensions. A lot of us have very natural looking ethnic hair textures that mimic our own. And we still get bashed for that. We still get bashed for wearing braids when everyone knows where they derive from, which is Africa, which is why they make most money over here in America doing braids. So when I made a video about it, it went viral. And I got so much hate from men, especially other races of men and some other races of women. And I say, well, the Kardashians have been getting curly sew-ins and regular sew-ins of straight hair. No one says anything. Even Cardi B just said on Instagram, the reason for her wearing wigs was to regrow her hair out, and now it's like so long. But she has other engagements and day-to-life events, so she needs it for versatility as well. So I don't think that it's that deeply rooted for the majority of us who actually know how to maintain our natural hair underneath and just wear it for convenience from time to time.
Let's take a quick break for convenience from time to time on the Business of Being Black with Tammi Mack. Welcome back to Business of Being Black with Tammi Mack. I'm Tammi Mack. Hello. Today, the Business of Being Black is natural hair versus hair weave debate. Please welcome content creator Tara Chantel, lifestyle writer Lanika Belfield-Martin, fashion and beauty editor Natasha Marsh, attorney and natural hair advocate Indija Anderson-Yantha, and lifestyle content creator Amor and Tasia. Hi, ladies. Thank you for being here to talk about this topic. Now, should our hair define us? Should it be a definition of who we are? Of course, we all know that wonderful song that we embrace so much by India Arie, I Am Not My Hair, which is really an ode to my hair not defining us. But should it define us, Natasha?
I don't think so, Tammy. I think that a lot of Black women are concerned with how much space their hair takes up or how little their hair takes up because of all the experiences that we've dealt with discrimination. But overall, I don't think our hair should define us. I think it's just a beautiful, beautiful feature about us, but it shouldn't be the main thing that people are looking at or that we're being judged by.
Lanika, what do you think the ideal hairstyle is?
Oh, the ideal hairstyle is whatever you feel comfortable with. I would say for me personally, even though I have this wig on, when I'm like around the house or whenever I'm just chilling, I have my natural hair out. Like that's kind of what I feel the most comfortable with and chilling. In terms of like what I think other people should do, I don't try to judge other women, especially other Black women, because I just feel like the world is already so hard on us. And, who am I to tell another woman what looks beautiful on her? The world is already going to tell her that she looks ugly because that's how the world is.
Indija, your most ideal hairstyle?
For myself, I love an afro, but I don't think that there is an ideal hairstyle that should be dictated across the board. Women should wear what makes them feel confident and a hairstyle choice that they have chosen from in and of themselves, as opposed to from external factors.
I tell this story all the time on the show when it comes to hair, and it's about my dad combing my hair for school one day for the first time ever. And you shouldn't let your father comb your hair. We all Black women and probably all women know how that's going to turn out. But my father combed my hair that day, and normally as a little Black girl, we wear the little ponytails, right? 1, 2 right here, 1, 2 back here, and maybe one in the middle. So it's either 4 or 5 we get, right? And my dad, he asked me how I wanted my hair. I told him I wanted it down. And down for Black women is not down. Down for Black women is out, right? So of course, I went to kindergarten with my hair out and not down. And all I remember is the teacher telling me that my hair was obstructing all of the other students' view. And could I do something with it? Could I pat it down? And I felt so embarrassed and humiliated and ashamed of my hair. And of course, before it was over, I wanted a perm. I wanted my hair relaxed so that I could look like all of the white kids at the elementary school that I attended, because obviously the black hair was an obstruction. So how society form our thoughts about our hair at an early age, Tara?
Wow, that is so powerful because I went through the same phase as well, like having to get a perm and realize it caused so much damage on our hair. But the truth is that our fro, the reason why our hair sticks up is the antenna to God. Our hair holds energy, it holds weight. So that is a connection that we can talk to God with our hair. So I think we should embody our curls, embody our coarse hair. We shouldn't perm it. We shouldn't not allow the world to see our hair. And why are we hiding our hair? This is what God has given us, but they have taught us that we should hate our hair, that it takes so much time to do our hair. It's really just so powerful. I think we should use it to our advantage overall.
Yeah. Indeja, how do you feel about that experience I had? I feel like every Black woman at some point in her life experiences that when they wear their natural hair. You feel good about it. You feel good about yourself. You're going out into the world with it. And then the world goes, what the hell is that?
Oh, absolutely. I can totally relate. I have a similar story myself, but I truly believe that it starts at home because we start receiving messages about how we look and how we should feel about how we look from the time we start watching TV, then we start going to school. And even the word choice that your teacher used, an obstruction, right? That in and of itself carries a derogatory term, derogatory sentiment to it. And so it's really important for us when we have our own children to maintain positivity about our hair and teach our children that their hair is beautiful, that their hair is magical, that their hair is divine. And I just know my parents and my maternal aunt made a concerted effort to make sure that we knew that our hair was beautiful and there was nothing wrong with it. So when we went out into the world and people said things like, oh, your hair's so weird, or why is it so big, or I can't see around it, we were able to counteract that with, well, my hair is unique. My hair is beautiful. My Black is beautiful, essentially.
Yeah. But it is interesting as I sit here as an adult and I think maybe my hair was in the way of other people. And I think about going to church, when you're sitting behind somebody with big hair or a big hat, it is in the way. So there's something to that. No, Amor?
Sometimes I guess that could be a case for some people when it's in excess, but there's so many ways to still style your hair to where it won't be. There's different techniques with natural hair and also with extensions. And to add to what you were just saying with your experience, that's something that was taught to us by, slavery. And then of course, everyone was taught to wear perms because girl, your hair is nappy. As soon as we get a little new growth, which are waves, they're like, oh, it's nappy. So, I understand that as well. A lot of Black women do not know how to take care of their hair, but we have progressed. We've moved on from that. And some of us wear extensions to help with that. And I feel like there should not be an issue with that, as long as we embrace ourselves naturally and do what makes us feel better and look flattering.
Lanika, you had that experience as a child?
Yes, unfortunately. But the difference for me was the same kids that had picked on me for wearing my natural hair had also picked on me when I got my hair permed. My hair doesn't take well to perm. So my hair could only grow, I think, to my chin when I used to be getting it permed. So it was very short. It was very thin when it was permed, but naturally my hair is like very, very, very thick. And so I just remember coming into class the day after I got my hair permed, and I felt like I was finally going to get that validation from the same people that were constantly saying something, whether it was my hair or my lips. It was something. It had to be something with them. I felt like I was going to get that validation. And as soon as I walked in, the first thing they said was, why did you perm your hair? So either way, like people are going to pick on you. And I think it's as long as you know within yourself, I look good or I feel good, I feel like that's all that matters. So, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Natasha?
Yeah, I have a similar situation where I had so much anxiety changing my hair every single time at school when I was in grade school or high school that I felt like nothing was gonna make them happy. And it's so difficult to move past that, actually. And I'm sure all of us had a moment like that in time where you just have to look deep and get deep and decide that what they're saying and what society views of you isn't true to what your lived experience is. And they're not going to know what that is like, basically. And you just have to keep pushing. But
isn't it
is
true
difficult.
that we always want what we can't have? So if you have curly hair, you want long hair. I mean, you want straight hair. If you have straight hair, you want curly hair. If you have short hair, you want long hair. If you have long hair, you want short hair. Like we kind of always teeter on the fence of, I wonder how it would look like that. No, I see Amor and Tara nodding their head like, yeah. Go ahead, Amor.
See, that's where versatility comes into play. Like my hair is naturally curly like this, but it is not as long and it's not as big as your experience. So I'm the type, I'm pro-Black. I don't care what people think. If it looks good on me, I'm going to wear it, whether it's big or if I like it sleek some days, which is straight, I'm going to wear my extensions to make it longer or thicker or whatever. As long as
I am not my hair. The business of being Black is coming right back with Tammi Mack on Foxsoul. So don't go anywhere because I want to find out about these ladies' natural hair journey. I'm sure you've probably experienced it a time or two in your life as well. We'll be back. Welcome back to Business of Being Black with Tammi Mack. I'm Tammi Mack on Foxsoul. And the business of being Black today is natural hair versus hair weave. Please welcome content creator Tara Chantel, lifestyle writer Lanika Belfield Martin, fashion and beauty editor Natasha Marsh, attorney and natural hair advocate Indeja Anderson Yantha, and lifestyle content creator Amor Antasia. So a few of you on the panel have gone through a natural hair journey. I think every Black woman goes through a natural hair journey. I tried it at one point, but I had fried my hair so much that the front of it just would not go back to its original bounce and its original curls. And so everything was beautiful and curly and the front was just straight. And I can't walk backwards, y'all. So, but what I could do was go back to straightening my hair. So talk about this journey. And DJ, I like how you say you were encouraged to wear your natural hair. You were told how beautiful you were, how beautiful your hair was. And I think that's a lot of what Black women miss because this hair journey does not start with us. It starts with our parents, but then that hair journey does not start with our parents. It starts with their parents and so on and so forth. So you really have to come from a lineage of parents, grandparents, great grandparents who appreciate natural hair for it to be embedded inside of you that it's okay.
Absolutely. And in fact, my parents had a rule that we couldn't get a perm until we were 16, my sister and I. So we grew up knowing that, we had no choice but to learn how to love our hair and to embrace it and accept it. So regardless of whether people were teasing us at school or even people within our extended family, we couldn't get a perm until we turned 16. And when I turned 16, I decided I love my hair the way that it is, so I'm not going to perm it. My sister, on the other hand, she relaxed her hair and her hair is very thin. And so it didn't do too well for her. It didn't turn out too well for her. Her hair broke
doesn't turn out too well for most of us, I must say. That is a common experience. Natasha.
Yeah, we had a similar rule in my household. Ours was 13 or 14, I believe. So our parents didn't allow us. I have two older sisters and a younger brother. Our parents didn't allow us to relax our hair. And when I turned 15, I wanted a more permanent straightener. And so I snuck to a local hair salon that wasn't a Black hair salon. And I pulled all my allowances and decided to get a Japanese hair straightening. And I kid you not, like probably 3 days later, my hair was went from this long to this short, just all in the front. And it was like right before a really big school dance or something too. And so it was so embarrassing. And I went to my Black hair salon and she put a curly weave in my hair. And that was kind of the first and last experience that I had with straightening my hair. And I kind of strive to be natural ever since then.
Your story kind of makes me wonder about Oprah Winfrey's experience. I mean, we all know Oprah Winfrey used to have the mini fro, right? When she was an anchor in Chicago. And so she tells the story all the time about going, them wanting her to get rid of the fro, get some hair. She goes to the salon and then the hair falls out or whatever. But I wonder why she never got her afro back. Have you ever seen Oprah Winfrey with natural hair? I've never seen her natural hair. And I've often wondered how that would look on her in these days. But Tara, go ahead.
The natural journey came with a whole bunch of transitions, from perming my hair to dyeing my hair to wearing wigs to wearing sew-ins, just finding myself throughout this journey and finding my truth and realizing the closest way to love myself is wearing my natural hair and accepting my hair for what it do and who it is, because it has its own personality. And learning that, because it's crazy that we as Black women feel like we have to play small. Like we can't wear our big hair, we can't wear our fro because it causes too much attention or people can't see. We should be bold. We should be big. That's who we are. That's how God made us. And all of our hair is unique. We are all unique, and it embraces its own self. And that, I think that has its own personality as well. So that's why I think the natural hair, when I locked my hair, it's actually caused me to really be in my truest self. It caused me to have more confidence overall and accept myself for who I am.
Wow. So your hair is locked now?
Yes.
And how long have you had it locked? But is it all your hair or you got some weave locked in there with it?
Oh, mine, girl. It is all me. And I feel so at home. Like I feel so at peace. And I get so many compliments because I feel like I'm powerful. Like I'm just embodying my truth. And I want all of us as Black women to go through these phases, do the perm if you have to, find the wigs, but then come back to your truth. And that's who you are. That's your essence.
Lanika, have you had the natural hair journey?
Yes, actually. So when I was younger, I was kind of like a kid when like the whole good hair stuff was happening. So when everyone was transitioning from using relaxers, my mom was like, yeah, no relaxers for you. But she was very strict on me getting my hair pressed out every 2 weeks. So I was doing that for a couple of years. And then I forgot what happened. I don't remember what happened. It was something that happened. And I decided randomly that I wanted to perm my hair. Right. So I already told you how that went. And so when I came to high school, I had finally reached that point to where I wanted to go natural, and I was natural. I'm still natural. I started wearing wigs probably at the beginning of the pandemic. So it's been like 3 years. And the reason why I did it was because I was so bored with my natural hair. Like I would literally wash, condition it, and throw it up in a puff. And I wasn't getting the satisfaction from it like I did when I first went natural and I was doing like the perm rods and all the other stuff. But you get tired of doing styles for 4 or 5 hours and then going outside and it puffing up. So
well, that's the point, Lanika. You're supposed to wear it natural, so when you go outside, you don't have to worry about it puffing up because it's already puffed up.
My natural hair would puff up. I went to school in Hampton, Virginia. The humidity is crazy. Like I couldn't do a single style because every single style would come out looking the same because of the humidity. And so the wigs kind of gave me a chance to play around, do different styles, do different colors, stuff I never got to experience when I was younger because, Black girls were kind of put into a box by a lot of our mothers. You can't do certain colors. You can't do it certain length. You can't press it out until you're a certain age. So that was kind of my thing. I guess I had a reverse. It was I went natural and then I'm still natural, but I don't have any problem wearing.
So is there a problem? That brings up a very good question. Look, I had relaxers. I was in the 5th grade And I was very happy about it. And it was beautiful. Black lady did it and it came out wonderful. And I stuck with relaxers my entire life. And it wasn't until I think I moved to Los Angeles, California, and I said, no more. No more chemicals in my hair. I'm done with that. Don't want any chemicals. And so it was a whole chemical thing. And I don't even know why. I just felt like I don't want chemicals in my body. It's something very unnatural about your hair burning, seething, and on fire as you try to straighten it. It's something so unnatural about that. And you're just looking like, I don't know nothing about that. Not me. Y'all crazy. I feel you. But is anything wrong with being versatile? Is anything wrong with wanting to toss on a wig because you don't feel like getting yourself together completely today, or toss on a wig because you want to be somebody different today? You want to do something different. You got a different outfit on. You want a different color, but you don't want to ruin your natural hair. Is there something wrong with that?
No, not at all. And I think one of the things that makes our hair so special is that it is so versatile and we can do all of these different things with it. And then it's going to revert back to its natural state. My issue is about the motivation behind the styling choice. So if you're going to wear a straight weave, that's fine. But I just want Black women to not feel like they have to wear the straight weave because they're not going to feel beautiful or feel like they can't go out unless they have straight hair. That's what my issue is. And then the other thing that I attack on is that there's something that we've got to think about in that, yes, other women wear wigs and weaves, but we're probably the only group that wears wigs and weaves with texture that are not like our own. And so I'm really happy to see now there are a lot more clip-ins and a lot more sew-ins that actually look like our hair texture. So I think we're making incremental steps in the right direction.
We'll be right back. We're going to take a quick break. Welcome back to Business of Being Black with Tammi Mack. I'm Tammi Mack on Foxsoul. Today, the business of being Black is natural hair versus all the rest of it. That's all I can say. The straightening hair, the hair weaves, the hair wigs. I have to say, as a television host and as an actress, I'm seeing a lot. And most actresses have begun to use the wigs a lot, but this is nothing new. What fascinates me is that people think this is all new. Wigs and weaves have been around for centuries, right? And so a lot of actresses utilize the wigs because they don't like to burn their own hair out by curling it to play a specific character, or, just the heat hitting it, or whatever processes need to be done in order to achieve the look that character would have. And as a television person, I have to do my hair every single day. I don't sit down and chill and not do it today. Now, when I was only a radio personality, that was wonderful because nobody ever saw me. But now there's this such thing as social media. You always have to be on one. You always have to be on one. But I've gone from my classic bob, which is simple, to the news reporter look, which is, you just got a nice little doo-doo there. And of course, my favorite hairstyle is the most natural of them all, my locks. I loved my locks. But I have to say this, Indeja, that was weave, girlfriend. That was weave. No one ever knew that my locks were not my own because, it was done fabulously. So I have to say, even when you're doing natural hair, as Amore has pointed out, there are still wigs and weaves that help you to obtain that without damaging your own natural hair. Right, Amore?
Yes, you make a great point. Women have been wearing wigs in the media, which is what basically conditions us for decades, centuries. When I grew up in the 90s, you saw Beyonce, Mary J. Blige, everyone had natural looking wigs. They were lace front wigs, but because that was like a Hollywood secret, regular people like us, we didn't know that. So with us, we were perming our hair back then because that was in. So when I went on my hair journey, I ended up going natural, but I had to do a big chop, which is very popular now. And we're growing our hair out. We're doing the maintenance underneath, but we're wearing extensions or wigs to just be a protective hairstyle. And it's just simple as that.
But I always have a question about the protective hairstyle. And even with Cardi B wearing her wigs all the time, saying, I'm trying to get my hair back healthy. Well, if you're never going to wear your hair, why are you trying to get it back healthy? Why not just shave it all off?
That is true.
I don't understand the protector. What are you protecting?
Right.
If you're never going to wear it.
Right. So that's,
I guess everybody wants to be in their coffin with their natural hair and not a wig, right? Tara, Tara, in what ways are the Eurocentric standards of beauty harming Black women, you think?
It's harming us to go to all type of extremes to damage our own hair. Like the women that went viral, we call her the glue girl because of the damage that she wanted to do just because she felt like she couldn't go outside without slicking her hair back. We feel as Black women that we have to change our hair every single day. We got to, it's all in the songs, new hair, who this? Like we feel like we can't just wear our natural hair and just be ourselves anymore because of this conditioning of this Eurocentric standard of beauty. But we have to redefine, we have to define beauty for ourselves. And I feel like once I did the big chop for myself, I lost all attachment to the outside noise. I lost all attachment to my hair. And that really made me feel like, oh, I am not my hair. But then I started just embodying who is this being that I am? Because we have this beautiful temple, but it's not, we are just here temporarily, just using this to be a vessel. So we can't just be so attached to the world. We can't be so attached to all these things because that does not define us. So I think we can't be so controlled by materials and possessions, and especially like wigs and things that are not us.
Yeah. Natasha, I want to ask you, and I'll ask everyone this question. Are we done with the good hair, bad hair, or do we still label hair good and bad?
I think we absolutely still label hair good and bad. I think it's really tricky to get away from that because for so long it's been like that. And we've been known to fall into, I think, as a society, into Eurocentric standards. And that is just classified as good. Of course, now the natural hair movement, it's been changing and it's been more acceptable on what's professional and what looks like good hair, what looks like bad hair, what looks like tidy hair, what looks like organized, neat hair. And it's exactly what Tara is saying, is that we have to decide on our own. We have to reclaim that word good. We have to reclaim that word bad, and decide individually what that looks like for us.
Yeah. Indeja, do we still do good hair, bad hair?
I believe so. I think that now we use the euphemism of hair typing. So it's just using a different type of terminology to denote the same thing.
Like what?
However, like type 1, type 2 hair. I'm type 4. Type 4 is like you don't really want to have. Type 4 is a little bit too coarse, a little bit too nappy, a little bit too kinky. So we still have that sort of hair grading philosophy. But I would say that I think that there's hope. I did an event for Black History Month with some children and some youth this past weekend. And I talked to them and asked them, what are some of the terms you've heard about your hair? And none of them were negative. And so I think that with the books that are coming out and, we're seeing a lot more representation in the media, our children are being exposed to that positivity that I was talking about. And it's starting to change how they see themselves. And I think that that's what's integral to this whole discussion, is that where are we going to go from here in the future, right?
Yeah, it's interesting you use kids for an example. Sticking to the story that I had from kindergarten, it definitely leaves an impression on you at an early age. And my cousin sent me over a picture of my little goddaughter looking at a cartoon. And I don't know the name of the cartoon because I don't have no kids. I don't know what cartoons they watch, but she was watching some cartoon, and there was a little Black girl on the cartoon with curly hair, like a coarse curly hair that looked just like hers. And she stopped in her tracks and walked up to the television. And it's kind of like that Obama, when he met the little boy, and what the little boy wanted to do was to rub and feel President Barack Obama's hair because it looked just like his. So I do believe that representation is huge when we talk about hair and it being good or bad or nappy or kinky and the terms that we use. And it's nice to hear that when you ask a group of kids what were some of the characterizations that their hair had, none of it was negative. That's such a beautiful thing to hear when it comes to children. I love that. Are Black women who choose to wear wigs and weaves conforming to Eurocentric standards of beauty? Black women are the only women who wear fake hair that does not look like their own, which I believe somebody on the panel mentioned. So are we conforming, Amor? No. I say we because clearly.
Yeah. Well, no, I think that when people think about conforming, they think about just the straight hair textures. But just like I mentioned, there are many types of extensions. There's crochet, there's curly, there's braids. And as we can see, the Kardashians are the main ones who are perpetuating some of those hairstyles as well. Other ethnic groups do that as well, but they're never bashed by their races or anything like that. I just feel like it's just a situation where it's kind of unfortunate because we are the ones that are the trendsetters, but sometimes we're bashed for wearing our hair a certain way and versus the other. But I don't feel like it's conforming when we wear our natural hair textures as extensions.
Natasha, look, if I'm out there on the front lines of the Black Lives Matter movement, if I'm, at the Boys and Girls of Black America meetings, if I am, marching out here for women's rights and everything I do, if I'm Tamika Mallory, is the only way for me to prove my Blackness by wearing natural hair?
No, absolutely not. It goes back to that power of choice, why we have laws like the Crown Act and other legislation. I mean, it's a pity that we have to have the laws in the first place, but it is the right to everywhere to have the choice to choose to wear their hair. Wearing your hair natural does not mean that you're more Black than someone who wears their hair in a wig or a weave. And exactly like Amor is saying, there's such a double standard and such a level of scrutiny for Black women that wear their hair naturally or that wear their hair.
Let's take a quick break on that note. Come right back. Welcome back to Business of Being Black with Tammi Mack. Today, the business of being Black is Black hair. Yes, I'm telling you, Black women got it the worst when it comes to dealing with our hair. We can't go swimming. We can't go to the beach, get in the water, take a dive, and come back out looking sexy like the ladies on James Bond. We can't do that. When is a woman, Black with an afro, gonna come out of the water on the 007 movies in her sexy afro? That's what I'm waiting. That is the James Bond movement I'm waiting on. Are Black women more accepted in the workplace when their hair is straightened versus natural? Anybody can take it.
I think that's the way that it has been, but I think that it's starting to change. Part of it is because of legislation like the Crown Act. And I think part of it is also because Black women we're standing our ground essentially to say, we've got the natural hair movement or the second natural hair movement going, and this is how we're going to wear our hair, and you need to accept us the way that our hair grows out of our head. I think that it's really telling to see how far we've come, especially with the recent Supreme Court nominee, Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson. She's got locks. And just to see that really just warmed my heart, because to see that a lawyer can rise to that height and have locks says that we're getting somewhere with this. So yes, we still have this sort of Eurocentric ideal of what professional looks like, but I think we're getting to the point where we realize that it's what's inside somebody's head rather than what's on top of it that really matters.
I like that. I see what you did there. So I want to know from each of you ladies, has anyone ever come up to you and asked to touch your hair?
Yes. I mean, how can you not resist? Like, this is the golden. I mean, they really wish they had our hair. This is why that's why we should embrace this instead of looking at it like, oh, it's a hassle, I gotta do my hair.
But Tiara, do you let them touch your hair? Are you good with it?
It depends. It depends, but I take it as a compliment because I know the God-given gifts God gave me as a Black woman or divine truth. So I don't get offense of it because I shifted my mindset around the power that our hair holds.
I get offended because I feel like you treating me like a pet. Like you don't get to come up to me and be wanting to rub and touch on me like I'm a little doggy. Oh, can I pet it? No. Yeah, I'm offended all the time. But I have girlfriends who are not offended at all. Natasha?
I think I'm offended as well because I think that the society does not know how to deal with Black hair. They have a fetish with it. They either think that it's really, really cool when it's huge, or they think that it's really, really weird when it looks in a weird way and they want to touch it and they don't have experience with it. And so they want to know how long it takes to wash your hair. How long did it take to put your hair in curls? Does your hair do this? Does your hair?
Or they want to know, can you wash it? Because the huge myth of having locks is that you're nasty and it stinks and you don't wash it. That is the myth that comes along with wearing locks. Amor, anyone ever asked, can I touch your hair?
Yes, but it actually was a Black person. As a teacher, science teacher, some of my kids, when I wore my hair naturally and curly, they were like, oh my gosh, Miss Curtis, you have good hair. And I was like, whoa, what does that mean? You know, I'm just Black. But that's all about representation, though. When you allow them to grow and not be ignorant, and they see that, okay, this is all of us. We can have this if we learn how to maintain our hair and, you know, work with what we have.
Yeah, Lanika, you had that experience as a Black woman. Can I touch your hair?
Yes, kind of the same thing with Amor. When I was actually at a summer camp, the kids would love to play in my hair. And this is like when I had braids. I didn't really think much of it because these are like 5-6-year-olds. They're like kids.
Of course.
Yeah. So
yeah. So Indeja, I know you've had that experience.
Oh, absolutely. My entire life and even the workplace at times. But I think it all ties back to the fact that Black bodies are politicized because of our history from enslavement going through to colonization. And so people feel that they just have the right to touch us and they have the right to ogle us and they have the right to, they just have a right to our bodies, and our hair comes with that whole package. And so I think that the more that we start to educate people about the history of Black hair and the politics of Black hair, I think they'd be more mindful about reaching out and touching somebody's hair and realizing that this is a part of my body. And just like how you wouldn't just run up and hug somebody without asking them, like you need to ask for consent before you touch somebody.
It's kind of like, it reminds me of pregnant women. Everybody wants to go up and touch their belly. Yeah. Like, can I touch it? Can I touch it? Tara, tell us about the self-love manual and your podcast, Take the Lead.
Oh, it is a representation of us just being our authentic self and transitioning from this spiritual aspect on this journey and embracing the imperfection, embracing the flaws, and understanding that we already have all the answers within ourselves. It's just about tapping inwards, going within. We got to turn off a lot of noise because we have been conditioned to think a certain way, to think that beauty is a standard beauty, but we are all individuals. So this is what we teach about being an individual and stepping boldly into your truth.
Yeah. Amor Antasia, tell us about your website, amorantasia.com.
Yes. So with amorantasia.com is basically derived from my YouTube channel, where I teach women of color how to apply their makeup, maintain their hair, whether it's natural hair or extensions, and just embrace the natural God-given beauty to accentuate it or do what you will to feel more confident.
Lanika, I love the title of your book. Yes, I wear wigs, and no, that doesn't mean I hate my hair. Tell us about that and your upcoming articles we should be on the lookout for. I mean, your article. Yes, I wear wigs, my bad. But it should be a book. It should be a book.
I should write a book about it. So yeah, like I wrote that article, I think it was like towards the beginning of the pandemic. When I started wearing wigs, just because I was getting so frustrated with everyone acting like it was a personal attack on them, what I choose to do with my hair and attack on Blackness and Black culture. And this is, like I said before, like I've been natural for like the past several years. And so people were thought that I was trying to conform to these standards, or I was wearing it for work. And it's like, I interviewed with braids. I go to work every other day with natural hair. I'm wearing this wig because I want to. And that's what the article is about.
And Indeja, can you please tell us about your book? What are you going to do with that hair and the mission behind the natural hair movement?
What Are You Going to Do with That Hair is a nonfiction illustrated children's book that I wrote about the history and significance of natural hairstyles. It's also available in French under the title Mais que vas-tu faire de tes cheveux, illustrated by Kayla Beals and translated by Nathalie Michel Biolay. Both of the versions of the book are available online on Amazon and Barnes & Noble. And in terms of the Natural Hair Advocate, it's a platform where I encourage Black women to embrace and love their natural hair textures. And I'm available for braiding workshops, school presentations, and speaking engagements. So hit me up at thenaturalhairadvocate.com. braidingworkshops.com.
Braiding workshops mean you teach braiding?
I do.
Oh, okay. Now that's something we want to get into. Natasha, what can we expect to learn from reading your writings?
Yeah, I'm really passionate about getting into topics that Black women go through themselves or what I go through myself. Recently, I just wrote about my big chop and how everyone described it as a brave act. And I didn't see it as a brave act. I was just doing it for styling. I just wanted my hair short. So I'm interested in kind of tackling these big topics that people hold a lot of weight on, but are really just done as like a styling choice.
In one word, how should Black women feel about their hair, regardless of how they choose to wear it? One word, Tara.
Divine.
Like that one. Natasha.
Empowered.
Yes, girl, the boss. Lanika.
Confident.
Amor, you got one for me?
Freedom.
Freedom. Oh, power to the people. Indeja, give me one word.
Oh, beautiful.
Beautiful you all are. And thank you for being on Business of Being Black with Tammi Mack. Up next, get ready for Vivica Fox and The Screening Room. Some great movies, some great films you'll watch. Until next time, it's a blessing to be in your box on the Business of Being Black.